promises is concerned. Now, a lot has happened in this week before I actually introduce my guest. As he's on his way coming to the studio, I'll spend about 10 minutes just to be able to update you with a number of stories that we have this evening in our news. One of the big stories we are looking at is the story where a Patriotic Front acting president, Given Luinda, has denied to meet a delegation from the U.S. Embassy in a meeting which was supposed to take place earlier this morning. And according to Mr. Luinda, says he cannot meet the U.S. Embassy delegation, reason being that some months ago he did write a letter expressing his concerns as far as the remarks attributed by U.S. President Joe Biden are concerned, in which, of course, if you remember very well, there were some remarks in which the U.S. President did actually congratulated the young people in Zambia for voting out the Patriotic Front, or according to him, he said for voting out or denying corruption. Those were the remarks actually that were attributed by the U.S. President at the time. And to that effect, Mr. Luinda and the PF decided to write a letter to the embassy demanding for an apology from the President Joe Biden. And that apology has not yet come forth, and therefore the delegation coming from that side decided or wanted to meet the PF leadership today to dialogue on a various or have maybe a conversation with them, but Mr. Luinda has refused to meet them. He says not until the president or the embassy apologizes to the PF, that's when he'll be able to avail himself to that affair. Besides that as well, we've been monitoring the happenings with regards to the arrest of Ishabi Chileko, who happens to be the barberman of former President Edgar Lungu. And of course, we saw a team again that went to meet the former president at his residence. And of course, the former head of state refused actually to comment. According to him, he says he cannot be commenting on anything at the moment, not until that time, the time is right. So we are going to be able to monitor what is going to happen later on. But of course, the Patriotic Front saying the Zambians, they should be ready for these ongoing arrests, because according to them, they feel that when the police are done arresting PF leaders, they will now extend that to the general public. Those are sentiments coming from the Patriotic Front as well. There is also a very interesting story that we are going to look at this evening in as far as the happenings in the UPND is concerned. Yesterday there was a very screaming headline that came from the news diggers, in which they quoted the UPND SG, Mr. Batoka Imenda, of course, having said that the UPND never signed any social contract to give jobs to the young people once the UPND is in power. According to him, he was actually misquoted. That's the SG. And of course, I did host Mr. Iswaniso, who was here as well, adding his voice to that effect. We continue engaging leaders from the ruling party. And now I'm hosting one controversial young man. Is well known, Matoma Likwanya, who happens to be the Lusaka district spokesperson or information and publicity secretary. He joins me on set. Mr. Likwanya, welcome to the program.
Well, good evening, Comrade Innocent. It's always a pleasure being here, and good evening to our loved viewers out there.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Comrade. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
You're looking nice.
Thank you so much. As well, you are in red, representing the party.
The party.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, you are joining this special interview this evening to discuss a number of issues. But again, I think we'll begin. I'll ask you the similar question that I did ask your boss, Mr. Liswaniso, as to why there seems to be some kind of tension in your political party.
Well, I want to first of all say that it is normal that we are where we are, we are not the first ones to be experiencing this. The UNIP government, when they formed power, these tensions were there. MMT came into power, tensions were there. PF worse off, when they came into power, tensions were there. But I want to tell you that we are not describing these things that are happening within UPND to be tensions. It is just a phase of the political party. Looking at the 4 months or 5 months plus that we have been in power, these are not really tensions, but they are divergent views on how things should be. Okay, when others they feel that person A must not be arrested, others they say he must be arrested. When others say no, let us move in this particular direction as youths of this party. Okay, others they say no, but even us we think that things should move in that direction. Right. The hallmark of politics, okay, is a difference in opinion. The description of politics is once you and me, Comrade Innocent, begin to differ on how things should be. Right. That is what describes politics. So what is happening in UPND is politics. That is what politics is about.
You describe this as the way of doing politics, or it's a phase of conducting your politics in the UPND. And my question is, what kind of politics is that where some of your members have gone on rampage, first of all, discrediting the leadership, you know, and I'll be blunt that you are among those people that have decided to, I don't know if I should say scandalize or attack your leaders. You're accusing your ministers. Some of them have stopped picking calls. You know, you've also attacked some permanent secretaries, again, district commissioners, among other leaders. And the question is, why do you want to be having this conversation with these ministers?
Well, thank you so much. I want first of all to speak not as a UPND but as a Zambian.
Right.
When Zambian people went to vote in August, they ushered in a progressive government. Right. And among those people that were ushered in were members of parliament that were voted by the people. Democracy is the rule by the people for the people. People entrusted their responsibility in the members of parliament. We are in a country where we are in a representative democracy, where we cannot all speak and make decisions. We need people to speak for us, and we send them in parliament to speak for us. So we take it that when the Zambian people in Mrs. Compound, where I was born, the 5th worst slum in sub-Saharan Africa, where people don't have access to good drinking water, where women, 80% of the women have never been to school, there is no government school in Mrs. Compound. Mrs. Compound, okay, does not have a member of parliament from UPND. Mrs. Compound does not have a councillor from UPND. Okay, I'm not saying that we are not supposed to call them. My point is, the area member of parliament that we elected, one would expect that when the people of Mrs. Compound try to call, when there are floods, when there are challenges, their member of parliament must be able to respond to the needs of their people. Subsequently, as it goes up, the people of this country, okay, we are in the first past the post system of governance. That entails that we must have cabinet ministers. And these ministers are in charge of certain clusters, certain areas like education. I'm a teacher by profession. When I decide to call the Minister of Education to alert him that at Alakan Secondary School, there is someone, okay, who is trying to charge teachers, who is trying to charge parents over the issue of free education. They're trying to capitalize and to make money, and the minister doesn't answer me. Where are we taking this country? The point I want to say, without fear or favor on this platform, Comrade Innocent, is that we are cut from different clothes as leaders. I did not say all the ministers of UPND don't pick up on calls. I said some. And I repeat on this platform that the Zambian people bear witness with me that within the party, people have tried to call some ministers and they have failed. General citizens of this country have been complaining now. The other thing that I want to tell you is that I'm the information desk of UPND in Lusaka district. I do receive calls from youths that tell me, look, we tried to call this honorable minister, We wanted the mining license, and he did not answer. What do we do, Honorable Matomola? Then I tell them, look, wait, we will address this issue. Okay, that is the issue on the issue of not picking up phone calls. It is inevitable that for us to deliver this country, people must have an attitude of picking up phone calls. And I want to tell you that President Agande Chirema himself as an individual, he picks up phone calls. So if the whole president of the Republic of Zambia will pick up phone call, why not an MP or a minister picking up phone calls?
What channel are you using to communicate with your ministers? And in reference to some of the ministers that are not picking up your phone calls, and you've just cited an example here that your members are complaining, and you are the spokesperson, who's supposed to have the information always, what to tell your young people. The question is, why should a member of the UPND pick up a phone call and call a minister? You don't have the proper procedure on how we can address these issues. Why can't you take that matter, for example, maybe to the SG, who is the chief executive officer of the party, to also convey that message maybe to the ministers himself?
Comrade Innocent, I want to update you and the Zambian people,
Please,
that those are public offices. When these people were appointed, when these people took the oath before the president and the Republic of Zambia, they swore that they were going to save the Zambian people. Offices of ministers are open to the public. And that is the reason why today when you go on the website of the parliament, you find that their numbers are put there for the public to have access to them. So Zambian people, not only UPND, are entitled to call these ministers because it is one of their fundamental rights to engage their civic leaders. So if it might be called tension or crisis, then we better call it like that. But the point is, for this house called UPND to move forward, we must be willing to criticize one another and see how best we can move together. I am a diehard UPND, and I would want the vision of the president to move forward. So on that matter alone, I think it is dusted. We discussed it, and we engaged the Secretary General and the relevant offices.
Furthermore, in your phase, like you've said, that it's a phase that you are passing through as a party in conducting, or in the way you are conducting your politics altogether. And in the quest to demand for jobs as well as empowerment, something that you talked about, we have seen some of your members have begun already to harass police officers. Is that part of the phase or the script in phase one?
We are a party that has shown that we are not cutting across anybody, irrespective of the party that you belong to.
Yeah.
As I speak to you right now, Comrade Innocent, there are youths, UPND youths, who appeared today in the courts of law in Chisamba. That could not happen in the PF. PF cadres and PF members those times could not stay even a minute in police custody. They were released on the basis that these are our people. UPND has demonstrated that if you are in UPND and you commit a crime, you are on your own. Borrowing the words of our president, the president has made it clear, if you commit a crime, okay, and you are in UPND, you will be alone. There are youths who are going to court right now. As I'm speaking to you right now, we have got many of our youths who are still detained. The police are conducting their investigations. UPND has demonstrated as a party that they are not going to allow anyone to break the law with impunity because they are UPND. A few weeks ago, we apprehended one UPND member who went on the road without a vehicle, without a number plate. That person, we apprehended him and handed him over to the police because we campaigned on the ground that we were not going to allow lawlessness. This has been received with mixed feeling by our people because they think that why should youths suffer imprisonment and police custody when they're in power? I want to tell the Zambian people that
they are not supposed to suffer.
Being in UPND does not give you the right to commit crimes against humanity because we campaigned on the basis that we were going to fight criminality. Do
you have specific examples that you would want to cite when you talk about when you allege that during the PF those that were perceived to be criminals were not being arrested?
Yes.
I said perceived.
Yes.
Do you have examples?
I'm coming to that point, and this is an issue that we are going to pursue few days from now.
Yeah.
In the by-election that happened in Lone constituency, okay, Obet Kasongo died. He was hacked in the head by Bowman Lusambo as alleged by Dr. Chimbakambwiri. They went and reported that matter to the police. Okay, the police decided not to conduct any arrest or to call Bowman Lusambo for questioning. These are matters that will be opened by us, by ourselves, now that we are in power. Because it is on record, there is a witness who said that Bowman Lusambo is the one that killed Obet Kasongo. Okay? This is the lawlessness that we are talking about. Today, if I am accused of anything in the New Dawn government, regardless of me being in the ruling party, I'll be summoned to the police. There is another case in question. I came on this platform, Muvi TV, to tell the Zambian people that have been attacked in Kabata constituency by non-PF thugs at St. Lawrence polling station. The news, you covered it, it was all over. We reported those people to the police. One of them was arrested. He couldn't even spend a day. He was released without following laid down procedure. These are fouls that are there at Richard Kachingwe police station. In UPND today, we have seen our youths being arrested. For friend Chikota, Stephen, was arrested in Rwapula when he went to alarm the police on the illegal mining activities that were happening by the Chinese. Though, as an individual, I feel that the police were in profession because you don't arrest a whistleblower. Okay. So the point we are saying is there is a lot that UPND has done.
How do you make of the arrest of Charles Kakula, for example, under the PF? You know, the young man that beat up a civil servant at the Ministry of Works and Supply.
Well,
he was apprehended, taken to court, and the case, was buried later on. How do you make of those cases? How do you make of the cases like that of Innocent Kalimanshi, who was as well, taken to court? As we speak right now, he's been jailed.
It took time.
All those issues. So for you to just make a blank statement that under the PF people were not being arrested, don't you think you're being unfair? Unless you say some people were left scot-free.
What I said, I'm saying that in the PF government, a lot of people were left to scot-free without being investigated because they belonged to PF. You and me know, comrades, that moving with a number plate, moving a vehicle without a number plate is a crime. How many of those cadres did we see on the street? Innocent Karimanshi himself, it took time for him to be arrested. There are many cases of him having plucked out someone's eyes. There are many cases. These are people who moved with impunity. That man that we have cited, it took social media uproar for him to be arrested. When people commented, Muvi TV commented, a number of people commented, that's when they said, no, let's arrest these people. This person
it was within a week.
Civil servant.
If you remember very well, it was within a week.
Yes, that's why we are saying that had we in the PF, if they are not pushed to arrest someone, they will let it go like that. Right. We had an incidence of JJ Banda of the PF who went at a police station at Central Police and beat up police officers. Went out and he was not arrested. It took time. It took time for after the citizens of this country started voicing out that the police started trying to follow the issue, and eventually, up to now, we don't even know how the issue went.
Not that he went in hiding.
I don't know, but the point is
that is the case.
The point is
he went in hiding.
The point is the impunity of PF cadres who harassed the police was too much. The videos were there, many things. Today, as we are speaking, one of the scores that the UPND government has scored is the power has bounced back where it belonged. Who knew, who believed that youths in a ruling party today would be arrested? Okay. Today, when you are arrested, yesterday one teacher was apprehended.
You want to portray this as if maybe the arresting of youths within the political party, the ruling party, is something that, is surprising, it's something very big. You are citing examples on your own of the people that were being arrested in the previous administration. There was a young man again who was arrested after he beat up, a Kawata member of parliament. All these are examples.
Listen, comrades.
Yeah.
We are talking about people who have died in our party. Okay? Joram, a youth who was vibrant, belonging to UPND, was killed in cold blood during the time of our campaigns. Okay? People reported the matter to the police. Eyewitnesses were there. As we are speaking right now, we don't know how that case went. It is now that we have formed power that we are beginning to investigate the killing of Lawrence Banda in Western Province. When suspects were there like Kachimwa. It is now that me and my colleagues now are opening files to see how did Obet Banda die when there is a suspect by the name of Bowman Lusam. It is now, comrades, that we are beginning to talk about Grasta Matap. Mapens Chibulo, shot by a police officer. These are lives that we have lost. Frank Mugala. These are lives that we have lost at the hands of the PF. Suspects were there. Cases were being trumped upon by the regime. That is the reason why, when the president of the Republic of Zambia formed government, he changed the positioning of the IG. He changed the Minister of Home Affairs to have order. And as we are speaking right now, the president has made it clear, don't arrest someone before you do your investigations. We have made tremendous success. Who knew that in bus stations today you would have police vehicles patrolling against the infiltration of political party cadres? When you go at Lima Tower today, you will not see a flag of UPND flying. All those flags have been banned, have been, told that this is the bus station of all citizens. You and me, comrade, know how dangerous it was at that time to wear a red regalia. Okay, people have been attacked. A priest was attacked when he was coming from church, just upon wearing a red shirt for Roman Catholic. Cases are there. We reported that to the UTH. We reported that at Central Police. We have been liberated. And that is the reason why, Comrade Innocent, I want to tell the Zambian people that they should be indeed patient with the UPND government.
Yeah. Let's talk about another pressure that you have as a party. It's how to convince young people that seems to be already expressing their anger, their concerns over what you promised at the UPND while it's in the opposition. Jobs, youth empowerment, all these things. Just 2 days ago or a day ago, the SG was, according to him, he was misquoted. Definitely. I don't know where the misquotation came about, because according to him, he did attest that the reporter actually went back to clarify. So you said you did not sign a social contract? So where was he misquoted from?
Thank you, comrade.
Yeah.
I'm privileged to answer on this issue because my name was mentioned by that journalist. And I was so shocked because when I played the video, the first thing that came out was, these youths. I don't know whether you're saying these youths sent by Matomoro or something, but you're saying these youths, Matomoro something. The point was, the journalist was framing the issue in a way that, as if me and that journalist we had a conversation before. Okay, I never had a conversation with a news diggers journalist. But the point is, the SG said, when we were campaigning, there was never a document that was given to individuals to say, here is a document, Matomola. When we form power, you'll be ambassador. Can you sign here? Okay. But rather, there was a document that was signed for and on behalf of the Zambian people in partnership with the UPND government and President Hakainde Hichilema, which was called the social contract. That was meaning that President Hakainde Hichilema was affirming his promises to fulfilling the promises of the party manifesto. Affirming himself that he is going to deliver on the promises that he has given the Zambian people, such as jobs. There was never, comrade, and I support the SG, when he says that there was never a promise or a note that was given to individuals to say you will become PS, you will become MD. And that is the reason why some people today feel disappointed, because there was never, ever such an agreement with individuals. That's what the SG meant. It meant that no individuals were given letters, offer letters for jobs. But rather, there was only one letter encompassing all the citizens of this country. And that was a social contract. In case you did not hear us right as UPND, we are saying that we are in a contract with the Zambian people to provide more jobs. How are we doing this? We have already started towing in that direction. From the times that we gained independence to now, there has never been a robust increased allocation of CDF. That is what we have
just
done.
before you proceed, I don't know if we are trying to misunderstand, like, or misquote, like the word you like using, you politicians. Each time, you are caught up, you want to accuse the media of being misquoted. The SG went further, explaining that voters are in millions. So when you talk about social contract, we don't expect the entire, grouping to come and sign a social contract. That's what it meant. That's what it talked about again. What does it mean? What does it mean?
That's not what he said.
Okay.
And if you have that clip, comrade, you can play it.
We'll
We
play
up
it.
with the term. The
Right.
point is, what the SG
I hope director will bring that clip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the director can bring that so that we can digest the video and see how best we can help the Zambian people understand. Like I've said, the SG, what he was trying to arrive at is that there is a social contract between UPND President Hakainde Hichilema and the Zambian people.
Right.
When that social contract was being done, it was in public domain where the president said, I, as President Hakainde Hichilema, I affirm and commit myself that when I become president, we shall provide jobs to the young people. In the history of this country, comrade, let us appreciate this president. Who has ever made that decision to deploy 30,000 teachers? There is no president in the history of this country who has said at a go, 11,000 teachers should be deployed.
You have not deployed,
in the
actually.
same way,
You have not employed them.
That is a policy.
Yeah.
Presidential
A police
announcements.
can be a police.
Presidential
a promise
announcements
can remain a mere promise.
Yes, presidential announcements become law, become policy. So when the president gives directives to the minister, budget has been allocated, money is being channeled to that. Teachers are going to be deployed because there's money that has been budgeted for. I'm coming to that point to say, who has ever made that announcement in a single year?
Just pause a chair, then we hear the video there. Director, can you give us sound, please?
By the Diggers newspaper reading, "We did not sign a contract that will employ you after forming government," quoting United Party for National Development UPND Secretary General Batuke Imenda. Subsequently, the headline received widespread condemnation from members of the public and several political figures. This prompted Mr. Imenda to clarify his statement during a press briefing Wednesday morning, claiming that he was quoted out of context.
Coming back to the issue of youth employment, I would like to tell you that the programs that I've already stated to, as we were starting the program or the interview, is what we have as government in a position. So, for someone to come out with that alarming, dangerous, misleading statement, quoting someone out of context, deliberately, to attract attention of a newsreader. That's a bad way of marketing your paper.
However, in his denying, Mr. Imenda seemed to have done less to support his stance.
Then I said, I've never heard anywhere in the world where the people that are seeking votes from the workers, from the voters, come and sign a contract with the voters, because voters are in millions. The voters are in millions, so for one to come to a point of signing a contract with a million people and assure them that all of them will be given jobs, that will be unrealistic.
Regardless, he has accused the reporter of having an agenda and promised to engage his lawyers for advice on the matter. The reaction by Mr. Emenda prompted the Diggers newspaper to release the conversation he had with a named journalist.
People have their own agendas. People have their own agendas. When we were saying we are going to create employment, we did not sit down with anyone and write a contract and then say, when you get employed, we will be a lecturer at the University of Zambia, or when we form government, you will be working at the station, or when we form government, we will take over market. No, we did not sign it.
While in opposition, President Hakainde Hichilema signed a contract with youths promising to address their issues. Top on the agenda was employment. For Muvi TV News, I'm Afias Kaptula in Lusaka.
And Mr. Matamola, you've heard the clip for yourself. But of course, for the sake of time, let's proceed on the other side. I don't know if you want to react.
No, like what I've said.
Yeah.
We have got many issues to look at. And this is an agenda. The SG has already explained. This is an agenda by the PF to sway us from looking at the real issues that are affecting the Zambian people. From looking at the good things that UPND has done. Today, we spent the whole day trying to explain to the Zambian people what the SG meant. When I was supposed to come on this program and tell you to say, as we are speaking, under the Ministry of Youth, they're giving free land in the department of the resettlement department.
But where does the PF comes in now?
Okay.
There?
Yes, because that journalist seems to have been paid. Yes.
By who?
By the PF.
How?
Because this is an agenda trying to undermine the credibility of UPND.
Do you know that journalist, by the way, you yourself?
For me, I don't have time to know him. What I know is
that
there are principles. These are principles of the opposition.
Was paid by the PF and you've got evidence.
No, these are principles of the opposition. This is what the opposition has been doing to make this country ungovernable. Why would a journalist, first of all, mention my name, make it seem as if we had a conversation when we never communicated? One. Secondly, why would a journalist misquote the SG when he had all the time to gather the facts?
Was it the PF that put words in the SG's mouth?
The opposition and the PF in particular, they're the ones that are in attendance of such propaganda, so that they can avoid looking at the good things, such as over 1,000 shops, comrade, are being provided
before
to citizens.
Before we proceed, I will allow you a bit, just a little bit. Are you able to apologize for accusing a journalist of having paid to allegedly misquote the...
I've used the right word, and I'm saying the journalist. You see, one thing that you must...
You are alleging that she was paid by the PF. And then you are hindering on my profession. That's what I'm saying. Do you have evidence that that journalist or that reporter was paid?
Comrade, Innocent, and the Zambian people.
I don't care the issues you have, you and the PF, but the issues that you are now bringing in, the name of a reporter, I think that's something that I need to come in because that's my profession as well.
Listen.
So we might just spend the entire 1 hour here on this issue. If you don't apologize, those remarks on the journalist.
Now let me tell you.
Yes.
The Constitution of the Republic of Zambia
does
give every human being in Zambia the right to an opinion.
Right.
I'm within my fundamental human rights, comrade, as backed by the Republican Constitution, to raise an opinion on any matter that prevails in this country. On this issue of this journalist who mentioned my name and the name of the SG without proper quoting, I wish to suspect that this journalist was paid by the PF.
Right. Thank you so much.
Because of that, IBA, the Independent Broadcasting Authority, must look at such issues. Because these things have got the capacity to plunge this country into chaos.
So the word there is suspect.
Okay. That is what I've said.
Right. Let's move on. Again, let's talk about what the UPND has, on the table in as far as empowering the young people is concerned. How are you going to quell the tension which is seemingly germinating out there? What is available under the UPND?
That is why I was saying that these agendas and manipulations by the opposition of trying to make us not focus on the programs of government, we are not going to buy into them. We want to explain government policies. That is good, I'm on this program. To tell the youths out there that it's not that the UPND government under President Hakainde Hichilema are not creating programs for the youth. We already know the song of creating cooperatives, forming companies, increase the allocation of CDF, but I want to dive in a different angle. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, okay, there is one fundamental entitlement to a human being in this country, and that is land. Okay, the government of the day, through President Hakainde Hichilema, are giving out free land to any district and any location of your choice to go and farm. They have created farming blocks. If you want, go there right now at the Ministry of Youth under the Resettlement Department. We have talked about the teachers that have been... Next month, policemen are going to be recruited. There's social cash transfer for the old, for the crippled. We are talking about contracts right now.
I hope this information you are issuing,
it's very authentic.
That was my question.
And that point because is, there are contracts right now.
You are going to be in trouble if you are going just to announce certain things here, which the minister, he himself, has not announced.
I'm talking... The
recruitment of police officers, you are saying it will be next month. Are you sure?
I'm talking about information.
Yeah.
I'm the information desk.
Right.
Of UPND in Lusaka district.
Right.
I'm saying
and
that,
your announcement is
I'm saying that,
next
no,
month
I'm not,
police officers will be recruited.
No, what I'm saying, don't put words in my mouth.
All right.
What I'm saying, comrade, I'm saying that policemen will be recruited. Okay,
next month? When?
To the knowledge that I have, okay, though I am not supposed to be the one to announce, but I'm announcing that somewhere next month, okay,
right, policemen
will be what? Will be recruited. However, the official position of government, especially the Minister of Information, is going to be announced publicly and it will be in the papers. The point I'm saying is, when you go in parastatals, quasi-government institutions right now, there's business that has been floated. Under the ZPPA Act, it has been mentioned that youths who have an opportunity to get contracts in government, there is funding that has been allocated in the Ministry of Green. I'm sure you saw the Ministry of Green. He was on media to say, look, there's funding that is going to happen. But to sum it all, I want to say that in as much as we can explain all these programs, we are appealing to the youth of this country to be a little bit patient. Right. Because the appointments of the United Party for National Development are not yet done. Just yesterday and the other day, you saw the president appointing 4 permanent secretaries, special duties. Yeah. What that means is that those permanent secretaries will be able to cut across all the ministries and be able to advise where lapses are concerned. The government of the Republic of Zambia is committed to helping the youth. That is the broad line. Mango sizipira pamozi. Pamene vizachitika ne vakuti lero mzako bazamulemba nchito. Iyo nayo mailo bazakulemba nchito. Okay, muzako bazampasa nchito utangene teacher, iyo bazakupasa shop mu city market. Okay. Ucha muzako winango bazampasa CGF fund, iyo bazakupasa ni vinango. That is how government operates. Not all of us will be directors. It leads me to the point that as UPND in Lusaka district, we have been calling upon and we are appealing to the President of the Republic of Zambia that let him fire certain people who went against the laws of this country, that civil servants are not supposed to be partisan. And these people were seen campaigning and supporting President Edgar Lungu and the PF publicly. It is in public interest.
Among them?
Among them, I will not mention. There are too many to mention.
It's a blank statement.
No, there are too many to mention. There are too many. If we start mentioning directors in government
you can mention 1 or 2 names?
No. For the purposes
unless
of
you don't have enough information?
The law does not permit me now, in a way that we are following the law. And those names as we are speaking to you right now...
The law permits you to just allege, and then the information goes like that. Blank information goes like that.
They are investigative agencies. As I'm speaking to you right now, there's Drug Enforcement Commission, there's ACC. The law provides that when you have got a list of people that you are suspecting, that they are involved themselves in partisan politics, you must take it to the ACC. And personally, as an individual, this is what we will be doing. This is the information which Zambian people know. There were PF cadres at the council. There were PF cadres in quasi-government institutions who supported, indeed, an oppressive regime. We are calling upon and appealing to the president that let him consider firing top on the agenda, there's one person that I don't fear to mention about him. For the purposes that his cases are in public domain. The town clerk of the city of Lusaka. The town clerk, the president of the city of Lusaka, as IPS for Lusaka district, I am appealing to you. Let this man be fired with immediate effect. Because me as an individual, I have been on the ground, I have empirical evidence on his corruption scandals, his plots, his dealings, how people are mismanaging Lusaka City Council. The town clerk, I repeat, of the city of Lusaka must be fired so that we can fight the issue of cadarism, so that we can fight the issue of having people going around in town with reflectors saying that they work for the city council with fake receipts, yet they are not workers of city council. We did that operation with the police. We apprehended 8 of them and put them.
Are you able to describe some of the offenses that the town clerk has committed?
It's very simple.
Yeah.
There is a ground, okay? There is a taxi, a driving school along Tokyo Way, okay? That driving school has been there for the youth for many years, okay? They have operated that driving school as a consortium of youths, as a cooperative. That's how they earn their life, their living. The town clerk, okay, in collusion with some of the officials at Zambia Railways, sold that land without engaging the youth to Indians, to Lebanese, to foreigners. When those youths heard that that land had been sold, they called us. We went on the ground. We met the foreigners that had purchased that land. So why would land be sold without following laid down procedure? We have been here on this platform, comrades, speaking about the Given Lubinda Foundation along the ring road. How that plot, which was supposed to be for the people of Kamara South as a market, it was given to one individual by the name of Given Lubinda. We have spoke about that issue.
When you say given, what do you mean? When you say the plot was given to one individual,
it was given to Given Lubinda.
What do you mean?
It was leased to him, to Given Lubinda, and right now as we are speaking, there is Given Lubinda Foundation. This is an issue, comrade, we spoke about. There are many more issues that we have. And look, this lawlessness that you see, okay, in the council, this city, the way you see it in a mess, partly and heavily, the town clerk is heavily involved. Very soon, next week, with my colleague, we are going to deliver a petition at Lusaka City Council and also at the Ministry of Local Government, Honorable Garin Kombo, to petition the removal of the town clerk. Now, the town clerk is only but
in the case of, I want to take you back. In the case of Honorable Given Lubinda as well as the foundation, the UPND you've been, talking throughout. While it's in the opposition, we had people like Leslie Chikuse, who is now a civil servant, who was actually fighting for that plot. The UPND up to now in government, all you are doing is just to talk, accuse, malign people. You have not taken a stance to go to the police or ACC, DEC to report Honorable Given Lubinda. All you are doing is just public, statements always. What is making you not to take up a stance, compile your evidence, and report that matter? Because one thing I'm aware for sure that there are some other senior individuals that were interested in buying that piece of land which is now Given Lubinda Foundation.
The point is simple. The point is simple, comrade.
And I started covering those people while in the opposition, and before actually they even got married to the UPND.
The point
so somebody's going to think that maybe this could just personal vendetta that you want to, you are fighting.
The point is very simple, comrade. I was raising on a point of gross corruption that the town clerk is involved.
And corruption must be reported.
To dive into this issue, I want to tell you that we are having internal meetings with the Local Government Service Commission as we are speaking right now to see how best we can advance this agenda, because there's a Local Government Service Commission that is also supposed to handle this issue. I'm trying to alert the Zambian people that the town clerk is just one among the many people, okay, that have been engrossed in this corruption. However, I also want to raise one thing that I want to raise here. Permit me. They are suspected citizens of this country who have been harassing directors in government institutions. These are coming from some political parties. They go to someone directors of institutions and say, no, we want to investigate. How did you buy that vehicle? How was that vehicle cleared? This complaint has reached me by some of those directors who are saying, look, we are only answerable to investigative agencies. We cannot answer to a leader of a political party over our involvements. For example, the case in mention is that of the General Nursing Council, where some unsuspected citizens have gone to call the director and to call officials at GNC in the procurement unit to know how was that contract given. I wish to warn members of the general public that, look, we have got investigative agencies. If you have got evidence of a particular director, channel that to investigative agencies. And that is the reason why some of us, even if we have evidence against these people, like you are saying, we have to use the red-down procedure. And I wish to tell directors and leaders in various institutions that once you see someone coming with political lenses to investigate you, report that person to the police, because you are not answerable to political party cadres. There,
These political party cadres are coming from the ruling party or outside the ruling party?
I'm going to come to that point.
Yeah.
The point I'm saying is there's a way that things happen. Yeah. For example, all government vehicles and the purchase of government vehicles happens through the Ministry of Works and Supply. But we have seen some fake Facebook pages, okay, such as the Zambia whistleblower, going about to say, no, there's vehicle A belonging to this institution that was procured by this director, when actually you know the procedure that for you to procure a vehicle, a government vehicle, you pass through Ministry of Works and Supply. So some of this information is not true. It borders on cyberbullying. We cannot allow as UPND these same people again to be bullied when they are investigative agencies. So what we are saying, comrades, is that in as much as some of them were corrupt, they were PF, we want the SEC to do the right job. However, I will also on this platform as an individual mention that the SEC director has failed. She has failed to lead that institution. She has failed to investigate financial crimes.
6 months down the line?
That is the reason why 6 months down the line no one has been convicted. That is the reason why justice delayed.
How can someone fail 5 months in office? How
that is why we are saying, comrades, we are saying that we are tired of people being summoned without empirical evidence. President Hakainde Hichilema is on record saying, don't arrest people without what? Investigations. Few days after he was sworn in office, President Hakainde Hichilema made a pronouncement in State House. He said, you the policemen, you investigative agencies, don't arrest anybody without conducting an investigation. But what we have seen from the SEC director is that when they just wake up in the morning, they summon people, and these people, when they are caught, the matter seems to be closed. We don't know. We are still waiting about the issue of Faith Musonda. Zambian people want to know about that 64 million. We don't know the summoning of PF Media Director, Deputy Media Director Antonio Mwanza, what he was summoned for. We don't know about these other dealings. So what we are saying is that justice delayed is justice denied.
Mr. Matomola, you are being unfair for you to accuse someone of having failed within 5 months in office. Is it possible?
The law
that one can be a failure within 5 months?
In the law, justice delayed is justice delayed.
Answer my question directly.
I'm saying,
is it possible?
She has failed.
Within 5 months?
She has not been in office for 5 months. The SEC director, okay, at a time when the PF were in power, why didn't she summon some of those people today that she is summoning? Why? She could have resigned on moral grounds, because some of these dossiers...
I thought we've got a new DG at SEC.
No, what we are saying, comrades, what we are saying is that in the SEC, okay, in the SEC as we are speaking right now, the all entire officers at SEC, from the top, from the bottom, from the ground going to the top, none of them have lost their jobs. These are people who have been there. Why didn't they report some of these cases? Today, comrades, if I'm used to commit a crime, to conceal someone's crime, mark my words, today if I'm used to conceal someone's crime, okay, because that person is a politician, he has got power, or he has paid me, and tomorrow when there's a new government, I'm used again to summon that person, it means I've failed the integrity test. Right. That's why we are saying there must be restructuring at the SEC the way there was restructuring at DEC. That is what we want.
I wanted to answer a few questions here. I did ask you a question that those suspected or unruly political party cadres that are interfering or allegedly interfering to the works of some directors in these institutions, are they coming from within the ruling party or outside the ruling party?
That one, I'm unable to give you the full details.
Okay.
As this issue, as we are speaking right now, has been taken to the investigative agencies.
Okay.
That is the reason why.
You
We
are making my interview very difficult.
Yes.
Because each question I ask you, it's blank. You are blank. You don't have information.
No.
But you look very energetic to explain things which are not existing.
Comrade,
You know,
you are journalist.
I'll move out from that.
You have read the law.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you take a matter, okay, before the courts, once you take the matter before the investigative agencies, you are not obliged to.
But
to
why did you bring this issue here? Because Zambians never knew that there are some unruly cadres that are interfering to the works of the directors in these institutions. And my question was simple: are these cadres coming from within the ruling party or outside the ruling party?
That is why
you don't know.
That is why I'm telling you.
Fine. Away from that again, my other question is: you did warn. You've mentioned that you want to warn members of the public. Yes. Or some unscrupulous individuals to stop unsuspecting, to stop interfering to the works of the government. Yes. What powers do you have as a spokesperson to warn citizens out there?
Thank you so much, comrade.
Yeah.
To start with, what describes me is the fact that, one, I'm a citizen.
Right.
In the laws of this country, in the absence of the police, mark my words, in the laws of this country, according to the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, citizens are mandated to conduct a citizen arrest on anybody who is a lawbreaker. That is
not
provided.
warning, right?
So, when we say we are warning citizens, we are warning people, we have got millions of people that are supporters of UPND. We have got structures countrywide. Right. We have got, when I'm speaking here, I'm not speaking government policies. I'm interpreting government policies as a party official. And I want to repeat that, comrade. We are warning some of our UPND members and some of the citizens that when you do that, you'll be on your own. Because we as citizens of this country...
The PF was voted out because of such kind of behavior where a senior leader of a political party wakes up and begins to warn citizens out there. And you're afraid.
What is wrong with me warning citizens?
Right.
Because, one, I'm a citizen. And when I say you are being warned, it means that personally, comrade, that's there.
Yeah.
I've got the capacity, when I see that there's someone who has broken the law, to go and fish out the police, pick out the police, go and apprehend that person.
It's a bit time is gone. It's a bit time is gone, but I wanted to read this statement coming from Mr. Vene Hachombwe, who is actually advising or warning again some of the members in the UPND to stop blackmailing civil servants.
It's true.
You know.
This one I want to tell you.
In the name of wanting to get empowered.
I want to tell you, comrade.
Take that as your closing remarks.
I want to tell you, comrade, that what Comrade Vene has said, I will also retort and say, we are going to deal with you by engaging the law enforcement agencies because we don't want lawbreakers in the UPND, because there is this trend where if they see that you were in PF, okay, they will come to you and say, we are going to report